Let me just start off by saying that before you walk out your door, make sure to check yourself before you wreck yourself, okay? Because if your zipper is down and I like barely know you, or I don't know you, like you're a stranger out in the wild, I'm not going to tell you that your zipper is down, okay? You're on your own. I'm not doing that. There's going to be that awkward silence where I tell the person and then they zip their zipper up, and or maybe it's a fashion statement and they decide not to zip it up. Have you ever met those people that will just like always try to fight you on everything, and they're like, "No, I meant to have my zipper down. I meant to walk around that way," okay? I wanted everybody to look at my stained Hanes, okay? But seriously, guys, all jokes aside, in today's video, we're actually going to get into something that's pretty epic, pretty insane. Now, this kind of got teased not too long ago by McFarlane. I think it was at one of the conventions. They actually had this figure on display, and essentially it's supposed to be like an Elite series. I think it's referred to as an Elite series in the listing, or Elite Edition, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's essentially like a brand new price point for collectibles that we may have seen in the past. Maybe they're like slightly different versions of that, or brand new characters, but essentially it's going to be a brand new price point with like a really massive deluxe feel to them. They could have like soft goods, they could have extra accessories, they could have some little extra things that a regular McFarlane action figure just wouldn't have at like a $25 to $30 price point. And so today we're going to be looking at Doom Guy from the Dark Ages new video game that just got released, which by the way is kind of getting panned because it's like crashing everywhere. But I will say this is very exciting, and I'm hoping that there's more news to come. At the moment of the recording, we haven't seen anything for the new TMNT line from McFarlane. We haven't seen anything for the new Mortal Kombat line either. So I'm still kind of a little bit impatient about those. Although I will say, by the time I record and like edit this video, we might have already seen something that's, you know, there's a high potential for that. But regardless, the figure comes with the shield saw. It comes with 22 points of articulation. It comes with that little fur coat. Or sorry, forgive me, the fur cape. Okay, let's get it right. The fur cape. It comes with a shotgun, the flail, the pulverizer, as well as a couple of extra hands, an elite points card, as well as an actual trading card of the character. And I have to say, I'm a little bit baffled. I'm very confused as to where the $60 price point is with this particular figure. Now, I will say, I'm tired of seeing all these comments of people saying, I'm all for the tariffs. I love the people that are putting the tariffs in place. They're geniuses. Just wait until things turn around. And then the same people are complaining about price hikes. Like, this is the future of collecting. This is the future of anything that was being manufactured over in China. So for those people, congratulations, you're an absolute buffoon. Okay, you can't have it both ways. Stop pretending like Hasbro is supposed to eat the tariff. Like, what universe do you live in where these companies are just gonna take the loss for the consumer? It's not their fault. I mean, Hasbro isn't the one imposing the tariffs, so why should they have to, you know, eat the tariff on top of already, you know, raw materials and raw goods going up in price? It just makes absolutely no sense. And for those small little group of buffoons that want their cake and want to eat it at the same time, just stop it. If you're about tariffs, stop complaining about the price point. It is what it is. Now, personally, $60 is kind of a hefty price point, and I'm taking a look at the figure. It says 22 points of articulation, so I'm going to assume that a lot of like the bare bones for this particular figure is reused from the old Doom Slayer action figures. We've gotten like the unicorn variant, we've gotten the one, what was it, the Ember variant suit. I'm not 100% sure what the skin is called, but there are like a number of different variations using the exact same suit. I'm assuming that they just switch out like limbs, or they switch out shoulder pads or things of that nature. But I'm going to go out on a limb and just say this is not 100% reuse. They're retooling the exact same Doomslayer action figure. They might have slipped in like some extra shoulder pads, like some beefier shoulder pads, or some knee pads or something along those lines. I think that's essentially what they're doing here. And I don't own any of the old Doomslayer action figures, so I can't tell you exactly which one of those accessories is being reused. But I'm pretty sure we've seen that combat shotgun before. I think the shield and the pulverizer are brand new, or could be brand new. Now, granted, there's a ton of sculpted detail on the action figures as well as the weapons. They're definitely going above and beyond when it comes down to that, but 22 points of articulation. And this was my problem when I first heard of this reveal, because this was, I think, showcased at one of the newest action figure cons or one of the newest conventions, and I was all on board if this was going to be something groundbreaking, if this was going to like break my tiny little reptilian brain by offering a brand new body mold head to toe with better articulation, pinless technology, and a ton of different weapons and accessories and blast effect pieces. That's not what we're getting here. Okay, it is definitely an upgraded Doomslayer action figure here. You are getting the fur cape. There's definitely a lot more sculpted detail going on here, and then a couple of different weapon accessories that we didn't receive, or we haven't received with a Doomslayer action figure. But I'm actually kind of curious to find out, and I don't think McFarlane's ever going to break it down, because guess what? The political party right now that is in control doesn't want them to break down the tariff costs. Although I would love to see manufacturers doing that more often. I think like Amazon tried doing it and a few other websites. But I think if you go on like Temu, they actually break down the shipping costs, the taxes, and then the actual tariff fees. I mean, if that's playing a huge major role, I would actually like to know. I don't think any of these big manufacturers are going to do it, but you know, I would love to see like maybe an update on Instagram or Facebook, just kind of referencing it like, hey, we're bumping our prices up this much or this percentage because of the tariffs. But that doesn't appear to be a main concern for any of these manufacturers. And look, I have a tiny little soft brain. I don't know math. I'm not very good at it. I don't know the inner workings of manufacturing action figures, but it just doesn't make sense in my tiny little reptilian head. The math just isn't there. The original price point for the Doomslayer action figure was $22.99, if I'm not mistaken. Even if you purchase them at $25, that's still almost twice or over twice what you paid for the original Doomslayer action figure. Is there enough to excuse that markup? I just don't personally see it. But at the end of the day, everybody's going to vote with their own wallet. Everybody is going to have to make that choice. And, you know, nobody can really tell you how to spend your money. This is just my personal opinion, my personal take. I will say maybe I'm wrong about all of this, because this figure is already sold out through multiple different retailers. So just keep that in mind when you're actually submitting your pre-orders. Make sure you get them in very quickly, because they're flying off the digital shelves, if you will. But as I said, just my personal opinion, my personal take on this newest release from McFarlane. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to stay tuned, because we do this pretty consistently. We're doing it on a daily basis moving forward. And as I said, I genuinely enjoy putting them together for you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching them as much as I do. So stay safe and keep up to date with the new McFarlane news, because I do feel like within the next few weeks, we're going to get those TMNT announcements. We're going to get the new Mortal Kombat wave announced as well. So just keep an eye on his social media. I think it's going to just hit us like a ton of bricks, but it's very exciting to think about some new lines from McFarlane. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the hobby. Pose your action figures. Play around with them. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.